everybody, this is Sharon McCrum from the Waldport Public Library. I'm coming to you today with a wonderful story by Jan Brett called The Mitten. And today I would like to dedicate this story to Mrs. Kilduff's kindergarten class at Crestview Elementary in Waldport, Oregon. Okay, let's get started on reading. Ready? The Mitten. By Jan Brett. This is actually a really old folk tale from the Ukraine. Jan Brett is a wonderful author and artist who does both. Not every artist does writing. Not every author does art. So she does both, and she researches her stories, and she's just a wonderful storyteller. And in her books, there's a special thing. On the sides, you have a second story going on amongst the other story. So let's read, okay? Once there was a boy named Nicky. There's Nicky. See? There's Nicky. Who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. And there's his grandmother thinking about it. And there's Nicky playing in the snow. Look at all that snow. Wouldn't that be great? At first, his grandmother did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll have to find it. See, look at that. How would you find a mitten in all of that white snow? But Nicky wanted snow-white mittens, and finally Baba made them. Baba is his name for his grandmother. It's a Ukrainian name. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first, I will look to see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow-white mittens." There she is. And there goes Nicky off to play. And look, who is that little critter? Can you see it? Who is that? It was a mole. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten that Nicky had already dropped. Oh dear. Did you see that before? Let's look back and see if we can see it. Oh, look. Nicky's in the tree. Where's that mitten? Do you see it? There it is. Okay. But the mole discovered the mitten and he burrowed inside of it, cozy and warm, just the right size, so he decided to stay. See him there? He's kind of hard to see. There you go. But what's going on the side here? Who is this guy? It was a Snowshoe Rabbit. He came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten too. He wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Big kickers, that's a great name for rabbit feet, isn't it? Well, who's that? Oh, look, they're making room in there. Can you see it okay? Good. What was Nicky doing? Nicky's exploring and looking around. See him? Okay. And then next, a hedgehog. Jan Brett loves to put hedgehogs in her stories. Came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being one to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. See? That mitten is getting stretched and stretched, isn't it? Who is this? Huh? As soon as the hedgehog disappeared, look at that page, isn't that great? As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Look at those talons. Oh, my. Oh, you're coming in too? Oh, my goodness. And what's going on over here? Who is this fellow? And what is Nicky doing? His hands must be cold. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased at all. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb of the mitten. Look at that. Oh, badgers are big guys, and they're tough, too. Look at the owl's eyes. Woo, woo. Oh, look, it's my favorite animal. Look at that guy. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog, and the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox a lot of room. Over here we see Nicky. Oh, he says, where's my mitten? Oh my goodness. There's a good view of the fox getting in. Oh, that mitten. And you can still see that cute little owl. Oh my. Let's see what's happening next. A great bear lumbered by. He's so big. Look at that. He's just huge. He spied the mitten all plumped up, not being one to be left out in the cold. He began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. That is really amazing, isn't it? Oh, and look, a little guy. And there's Nicky. Oh, looking far and wide for his mitten. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. Acorns are about that big. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Do you see the little tiny mouse? And do you see Nicky? Oh, what will he do? He doesn't know. Excuse me for a moment. There we go. Oh, the bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ah, 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 achoo! Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Everything is topsy-turvy. Oh, my goodness. The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the air, and it scattered the animals in all directions. Let's look at that page again, because it's so amazing. They're just going everywhere. And Nicky's still looking. Oh, look at that. Ha! On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. Oh, can you see it? Look at it go. Wow. There goes Nicky. He's running after it. And look at the poor fox and the other animals. They're just like, oh my, what happened? They were so warm and cozy. Now we move on to the last. Whoops, the page is sticky. Not sticky, just hard to turn. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Lucky boy, lucky Nicky. Look at that. It's like he was just tossing it. Everybody's going home. And look at this picture. And Nana's a little confused by the different sizes of the mittens now. Thank you for listening today. Again, this is Sharon from the Waldport Public Library. Thank you for listening to Storytime today. Hang on. Bye-bye.